Alright, we're doing Core Set 2020 spoilers. The last few sets I've been like writing down predictions for how well I thought cards would do in the meta. I don't know if I'm going to bother with this. I don't really know how invested I'm going to be in the Core Set spoilers. It's not really a super exciting set for me compared to Modern Horizons, of course, or compared to the normal like expert level standard progression sets, if you can remember that terminology. I'm still trying to come up with a good way to like kind of to make some bold predictions in ways that's like very empirical and like easily measured afterwards. Because when I went back to my previous predictions and tried to like line them up with how the cards were actually doing, I don't know, it just didn't really lead to any sort of insights. Like, it was just mostly tedious. At any rate, I more just want to like share the experience of looking at the cards. That's mostly my goal. But sometimes I feel like I have a real hot take on how a card is going to do, and I want to record that some way very objectively for posterity, so I can feel better later. But we'll figure it out. Please let me know if you have any suggestions on good ways to kind of spice up these videos. But we've got a lot of cards to look at because spoilers for this have been going on for almost an entire week now. I was actually totally unaware. It just seems like we had just finished Modern Horizons spoilers, so I wasn't ready for yet another set to start coming out already, but here we are, looking at our Ferocious Pup. This card is super cute. Very interesting in that, you know, the 0-1 that you're actually playing isn't really going to do you too much, but you do get two bodies, so you can kind of make some stuff happen with that. Renowned Weaponsmith. Ooh, now that is quite interesting. Oh, I guess it's from Fate Reforged. Okay, never mind. I guess it's not that interesting anymore. Obviously it hasn't been interesting yet, given that it's a 15-cent card from that set. This is kind of fun though. This is something they like to do in core sets, have cards that explicitly reference each other and explicitly combo with each other. It's just kind of a good way to have newer players start thinking about card synergy without having the monumental task of working it all out themselves. So that's fine. Here's one of the things it can fetch. Sure. So this is the other one. Alright, nice. This is Metal Mario. Diamond Chevalier. Choose a color. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen color, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Alright, that's pretty solid and limited, I think. Can get pretty big by the end of the game. Sure. This again feels very strong and limited. A good mana sink. If you're playing kind of a burn deck, you can use this to super burn stuff. Oh, ooh, a new Omnath. And I believe this is a brand new Omnath. Because before he was just green, and then he was red-green, and then now he's red-blue-green. It's gone full teamer. So I hope this is maybe a cycle in the core set of getting new forms for fan-favorite legendaries. Whenever it enters the battlefield, it deals damage to any target equal to the number of elementals you control. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target elemental you control. If you control 8 or more lands, draw a card. Alright, cool. Lots of little synergies and stuff. I thought he might make elemental tokens or something, so this is definitely kind of a more build-around type of card. It's not an an engine, unto itself, like the previous Omnaths. This thing, you know, just gets bigger and bigger, and this one... but these two synergize quite nicely together, because this is getting your elemental tokens. And this is getting you beefing up your elementals and using them as direct damage and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of cool. You kind of ramp all the way from this to this. Sure, it's quite exciting. Elvish Reclaimer. There's 3 other lands in your graveyard. Ooh, and it can do, this is not really much compared to Knight of the Reliquary. This is kind of like a fixed version of it, I guess. But it's still alright. It comes down as a 1-drop early on in the game, and then you can use it to kind of fix your mana. It gets beefy eventually. Yeah, it's okay. The paper. Okay, alright, sure. Book, shield, magical thing. Drawn from Dreams. Top 7 cards of your library, put 2 of them to your hand, the rest of the bottom of your library in any order. So this is the dig through time type effect. Of course, they were smart enough this time not to give it delve. It looks like it takes place in the world of Mu Yangling, the kind of Chinese-themed world where the global expansion series was set. The art is really nice. It's pretty cool. Is this effect okay at sorcery speed for 4 mana? Maybe. It is quite a deep dig compared to something like 4 mana draw 3, which is what? That's the price you pay for divination. No, that's 3 draw 2. What's that called? Replenish? Is that the green one? No, that's that, of course. I guess we'll just do draw 3 cards. What is it? The one I'm thinking of. The one that's just straight up draw 3. Oh, it costs 5 mana. So, you know, at 4 mana, this is actually pretty decent. Yeah, I could see this. I don't know. I don't think it's quite at the power level for constructed, but it's solid enough. Raise the Alarm. It's been reprinted a million times. Woodland Champion. Oh, our token lives the battlefield control. But that many +1/+1 counters on Woodland Champion. So this could be actually really big, really fast in the right deck. This could be quite a fun card to build around. I have a hard time seeing the power level getting that extreme, but I'm into it. It seems like it might also take place in this world. Maybe. Just judging based on the big cat. I remember there being like big animals of that type in a lot of the other art. Bloodthirsty Aerialist. You gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Sure. Her victims are awed by her for performance. Sure. Vampire of the Dire Moon. Well, this is alright. Death Touch, Lifelink. It's going to get you a lot of value no matter what. It's got the pretty relevant creature type in some decks. Yeah, this is good. This is like a nice level of pushed when they're just kind of putting in these French vanilla creatures to bolster creature types. I like to see them take it kind of as far as they could reasonably go. Leyline of Abundance. Ooh, a new Leyline. Whoa, okay, alright. So you can start with it out for free. Whenever you tap a creature for mana, add an additional green. So this is like not something that rules can care about up until now, I'm pretty sure. But basically, a Heartbeat of Spring, but for creatures, is very, very intriguing to me. I want to think that this could really turn on the Jets for some crazy elf-type deck. When you use, like, Heritage Druid, that's what this card is called, right? So this is still tapping creatures for mana, right? You tap 3 elves, and then you add mana. So does that mean that you add an additional 3 mana off of Leyline of Abundance? Because if so, this is actually pretty insane. That you do, like, you have this out, or perhaps multiple of this out, and then you play turn 1 Llanowar Elves or whatever. Turn 2, you play one of these, you tap all 3 of your elves, you add 6, or perhaps 9. Right? Am I crazy? Is that how it works? Would Heritage Druid plus this actually go as nuts as I think? I don't know. Or maybe you just got 4. Whenever you tap a creature, add an additional, And then this is cool too. But of course you have bigger and better finishers like one Mr. Crater Hoof. Okay, I'm quite interested. Temple of Triumph, so they're reprinting the Scrylands, that's pretty good. They're nice to have in Standard, I think. It just sort of smooths the format a little bit. Yeah. Temple of Mystery, Temple of Silence, Temple of Milady, Temple of Epiphany, sure. Moldervine Reclamation. Whenever a creature you control dies, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Well, that's fun. I like that it's non-token. So even your token creatures Can probably set up some cool infinite loops with this, draw your whole deck, gain a bunch of life. It's expensive, but I don't know. Probably too expensive to actually be any sort of relevant combo, but whatever. It's a card called Fry, which apparently they've never made a card called Fry before. This looks like something I'm shocked that they would print. They've been really cutting back on specific color hosing. So I'm very, very shocked that they would print this. I guess because it's just the target creature or player or something. I don't know, but it's like a super dead draw against most decks, so I'm kind of surprised. But it's alright, it looks pretty pushed. The art is funny, the flavor text is funny. I guess this bird could probably be white. Birds are often white. Marauding raptor, dinosaurs, alright. I like that dinosaurs are kind of a staple creature type now. They have kind of a very mixed identity, a multifaceted identity. But I'd say this is quite in line with it. You know, often they have this sort of tribal power to kind of this natural magical energy that sort of oozes from them, it seems like. They can do things like this, by the way. This is actually crazy. It's a 2/3 for 2 that makes all of your creature spells cheaper. Are you for real? Oh, but this is the downside. This thing attacks anything you're playing. Okay, that's very interesting. I like that they're still sometimes making cards like this. A very powerful effect, but with a drawback. Lately, it seems like they're more interested in cards that are all good, because they don't want players to have like a bad time or whatever. But this is a card that you build around, of course, with lots of things that are power greater than 3, or toughness greater than 3, that is. Yeah, I'm into this. This is really cool. And then in Dinosaur Tribal, it gets really huge. But I think this is more, I don't know, it's like the decks that really gain a lot of value from this are playing a lot of 2-drops that go down to 1-drops, and then those are the things that probably just get killed by this. So it's kind of awkward, but I would be curious to see if something could make it work. Rotting Regisar. Ooh, so it's a whole cycle of drawback dinosaurs. I love it. I love it. This guy looks insane. Now that's a zombie. Beginning of your upkeep, discard a card. Woo! That's not bad at all. A 7/6 for 3, and all you're getting is the downside of having to discard a card. But of course, you're playing some super zombie synergy type deck, or you're just keeping your hand empty, period. You're running like heavy Lily of the Veil and stuff. You're keeping all hands empty. And then this becomes like irrelevant. Yeah, I don't know. I think this thing got a lot of potential. It's just so pushed. A 7/6 for 3. I'd be very, very curious to see where this ends up going. Okay, let's see some more dinos with drawbacks. Or let's see a new Sorin, that's fine too. Target creature you control gets Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. If it's a vampire, we get a +1/+1 counter on it. Sure. So this kind of goes back to that 1-drop we saw before. You may sacrifice a vampire. When you do, it deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. Put a vampire card from your hand onto the battlefield. Ooh. So it gets to do this at least once for free. And then, assuming that big vampire you just put down can defend it, this can make it even stronger. So this is obviously built very much for Vampire Tribal. What is the biggest vampire? Let's find out. What? Vampire. Did I choose the other one, which is there for some reason? And then we'll sort by CMC. Descending. Alright, that's an old-ass guy. He's probably not that strong anymore. I mean, he gets +2/+2 counters. That's pretty cool. And he's good for Vampire Tribal, I suppose, but we can do better. This is supposed to get cheaper, so that's like not really one we want to be cheating out necessarily. But this is kind of cool. Vampire Charm Seeker, again, kind of about more cheating it out fast. But it's okay, like this is alright. It's got like an E-Witness type effect. Here we go, this is what I'm talking about. It's just a 5/5 flyer. gets bigger, and it can ping stuff. Well, it's okay, but you're going to be in black-red. This is like multiplayer focused. But it still gets pretty big pretty fast. This is such a fun line of text. So there's some big vampires. I didn't know Chancellor of the Dross was a vampire. That might be a good pick because like this is a neat ability, and then later you Sorin him into play. I don't really see this getting good enough. I'm not seeing anything here that I'm like, oh yeah, sweet. Like once you Sorin that in, you win the game. But it would be like a really fun kind of casual level power deck. Maybe this. This is a pretty good one to cheat into play. I don't know. Okay. All right. Interesting. Yarok, Yorok, the Desecrated, an elemental horror. Death Touch, Lifelink. If a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers a second time. Oh, fun. Oh, how fun. I don't even want to begin speculating on all of the wacky stuff you can do with this. Again, it's quite expensive and it's in 3 colors, so I don't imagine that this is going to turn on some really high value engine. Plus, I think there is similar effects for cheaper or artifacts or whatever, but it is quite fun. So already, like, we know that this elemental tokens coming in on our new Omnath is like one little synergy here. If you manage to draft 2 of these mythics and want to go 4 color in your limited pool, go for it! Yarok grieves within the waste of Bala Ged's corrupted land. Where's Bala Ged? Is this like a place we've seen before? Oh, it's in Zendikar. Okay, I see. Portal of Sanctuary. Ooh, a colored artifact. Turn target creature you control in each order attached to it to their owner's hands. Activate the ability only during your turn. Alright. That's okay. It's not great, but it can set up like nice little synergies in limited. Little combos. Masterful Replication. Choose 1. Create 2, 3 golem artifact tokens. Other fact you can. Ooh. Now this could get pretty crazy. If you just get a gigantic Blightsteel army or something. But it is 6 mana, and by the time this becomes a devastating effect, you probably already just have the resources to win the game. So it's more about the first ability, I guess, which just gets you 3 power of a semi-relevant creature type on the battlefield at instant speed, which isn't bad. I think in limited this can still lead to some real big blowouts. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I like the art. They're all just lining up. Scuttlemutt! Ooh, it's a new Scarecrow! No, it's an old Scarecrow. Okay. But sure. This is a nice mana rock. Mana guy. Inspiring Angel. Sure. Another creature with flying. I like that angels, it kind of fits into their kind of graceful benevolence, that they don't just have angel creature type synergy, often they just have flying creature type synergy, which is good too because angels start at pretty high mana cost typically. We ran out of punch. That's a Vampire Knight. It's 3/3 against Dutch until end of turn. Ooh, well, that's not bad at all. A 1/2 that comes down and has this ability, you're playing a couple turns later. Start getting in for big damage. And yeah, as soon as you get 1 hit in with it, it starts getting +1/+1 counters. Yeah, I like this guy. I think this is going to be really strong and limited. Brilliantamental. What is it actually? We can try to read this. It's like Light Wonder Soldier. Light Wonder Soldier. Creature, elemental, soldier. This is really blurry. Alright, I give up. Vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 golem. Turn target to your hand. Okay, it's not really that exciting. The mana cost is so restrictive. The stats aren't that crazy. It's only 4 power. This is kind of nice, because white doesn't usually get this sort of destruction, like total non-land permanent, just nuke anything destruction. And it looks like they've shifted the destroy, but then you get a gift from green, which used to have it on like Beast Within and Terastodon, into white, with the printing of the white color shifted Beast Within in the last set, which is such a clever card in Modern Horizons. So I guess white can just do that now. This thing looks super cool. Light Soldier of Wonder is cool, but I don't really see this being that strong. Scholar of the Ages. Hey, alright. Sure expensive though. But in limited, this is the sort of thing you're really glad to have. Ooh, a new Mu Yanling. So one target creature gets -2, -2. This is flying. Create a blue elemental bird with flying. Islands you control have tap draw card. That's so cool. This is such a cool alternate. It's not even like win you the game, you know. It's just like you're gonna be so ahead in so many different resources. But then it still like makes you play a very complicated game. Like it turns it into just a new type of interesting game of how many cards you want to draw versus how much mana you want to have open, and then, you know, holding up counter spells and just drawing a bunch of stuff at the end of their turn. It's so cool. Like I almost wish that you could just play games that have this emblem to begin with. That'd be insane. But so it only comes down with 2 loyalty, which is pretty fragile. If you're against the deck that's going wide, it feels like this thing is going to die really fast. You can't even make the bird right away. But it is only 3 mana. I don't know. I find this very hard to evaluate. It really feels like it's not about alting off, because it's just so fragile, but more about just getting these birds, which are actually pretty sweet. You go up to 4, you make a bird. You go up to 3, go up to 5, you make a bird. I don't know. It's okay. What was her previous card? Her previous card was really simple because it was in like the intro deck. It can't be blocked. Draw 2 cards. Take an extra turn. So really on the opposite end in terms of kind of how you have to play her. Very interesting. Art is cool too. She looks awesome. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card. Whoa! Ooh! Interesting, interesting. So the synergy here is you play a bunch of cheap guys and a bunch of pump spells, and then you just kind of churn through your deck. Does Infect want this? I kind of feel like it's too slow for Infect, but it kind of smooths you out and accelerates your cards. But it is just a 2-drop that does nothing on the turn you play it. So maybe in some hypothetical, more kind of grindy, Infect-like matchup, where it's not just racing for the kill, but just trying to kind of eke them out. In fact, I saw such an Infect deck, the green-white Infect deck that was played on Magic Aid's channel. Maybe it wants this? I don't know. It can make your turns really explosive, but only turn like 4 or 5 or something becomes that explosive. But if you're playing the more controlling one, where you're playing a whole bunch of Path to Exiles and stuff, I don't know. Wolf Rider Saddle. Hey, okay, that's cool. Alright, I like it. That's cute. But like, who is riding the wolf? You just put the saddle on it. And then the saddle makes it stronger. But whatever. I guess this line sort of reflects the fact that somebody is riding on the wolf and helping it out. I don't know. But then you like detach it and you attach it to just some guy and you're like, is somebody like riding on the shoulders of my guy here? I don't know. Repeated Reverberation. When you cast an instant spell, cast a sorcery spell, or activate a loyalty ability this turn, copy that spell or ability twice? Huh? This is ridiculous. It just gets crazier and crazier. Like, first I looked at the title and this, and I was like, okay, it's probably some sort of copying effect. And then I was like, okay. It's just getting more and more inclusive. And then this turn, copy that spell or ability twice. So, am I crazy, or does Storm want this? I think in a lot of situations, this is like crazier than Past in Flames, no? To start I mean, it's not like the copies get more storm count, but you just start getting unimaginable amounts of value off your cantrips and rituals and stuff, even if it's not increasing the storm count each time. And it's not like you can't play both this and Past in Flames. I don't know. This seems crazy. This seems like, and like even the activating a loyalty ability, I think in some decks could get really bonkers. I'm not really sure exactly, but it's like you can even like pseudo storm with this. That by the end you're literally just casting like lightning bolt or something, and maybe you've double cloned planeswalker ability that also double clones. So yeah, you have like who does that? Jaya? No, it's one of the Chandras, but there's like a billion Chandras. There's some planeswalker that it's like next time you cast a red instance or a sorcery spell, you can copy it. So you copy that ability. You copy it twice, so that makes it that there's 3 extra copy abilities on there, and then you get this 2 more copies, and then it's 5 additional copies. So your 1 lightning bolt does 18 damage. Right? I don't know, man. This seems like it must do something crazy. I'm really interested in seeing if this ends up in some sort of deck, because to me this just seems nuts. Pacifism, one of the all-time most reprintedest cards. Sure. Bone Splinters, again, also reprinted a lot. Sure. Captivating Gyre. Turn up to 3 target creatures to their owner's hands. Meh. At this price, you could just be playing Upheaval. But I suppose it has some situations where it's a lot better than Upheaval. Alright, we'll plunge on. We're only coming up to the halfway point now. Legion's End. Exile target creature an opponent controls it converted mana cost 2 or less than all other creatures that player controls with the same name as that creature. Then that player reveals their hand and exiles all cards with that name from their hand and graveyard. So it doesn't go through the deck. I thought at first it might rip through their deck as well. This hits tokens really hard, of course. This hits Shadow Mage Apostle decks really hard, of course. But I guess they'll probably just sack in response. Yeah, it's kind of neat. I don't know. I mean, the real question is like, is this good enough? Like just this part, and not really compared to something like Fatal Push. And then this is kind of like the icing on top. If you can get like strong hits with this. But most of the decks that are like, I don't know. I guess you got like Bloodghast is a good target for this. I don't know. Loaming Shaman. Sure. Nice. Ascension. See, it used to be rare. That's a nice downshift. I don't think this should be rare. It doesn't seem that good. Unchained Berserker. Sure. Pro White. Look at this. So is red perhaps now the color of color hate? Like, have they decided maybe it's okay, but only red gets to do it to kind of express the volatility and passion that like red is so sometimes single-minded and obsessed. Like, oh, I only care about fighting white today. Something like that. But whatever. Dungeon Geist. This was, I think, a pretty strong card in Limited back in the day. I always thought the art was so creepy. Pulse of Marasa. Sure, okay. Gain 6 life. That's not nothing. That's a lot of life. Leyline of Anticipation. This is the one that gives everything flash. This card is super sick. But I don't think it's ever really made it into an actual competitive constructed deck. It's just the sort of combos that this enables. You don't want to rely on this sort of thing. They're just not reliable combos to begin with, I guess. Hanged Executioner. There's the battlefield, create a... Like, this sort of thing I think is cool for kind of a beginner set, because it's very easy to grasp. Gets you used to tokens and stuff, and it gets you used to more of a complex board state, without the things that lead to that complex board state being that complex in and of itself. This is nice. This seems pretty strong and limited. Especially since you're just getting flying power, that's so strong. Barkhide Troll. Alright. That's kind of fun. Field of the Dead. Whenever it or another land enters the battlefield in your control, if you control 7 more lands with different names, create a zombie creature token. Yeah, that's fun. I don't think we're really going to get there, but that's fun. Convolute, sure. It's just like mana drain, but more, but worse. Overgrowth Elemental. +1/+1 counter another target elemental. So we're getting this kind of an elemental tribal. I guess maybe there's a general tribal theme, or at least in black with vampires and a bunch of colors it looks like with elementals. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Alright, it's nice. I like that it's kind of give and get. Growth cycle. Ooh! So this is another, as I said, the core sets like to do this sort of explicit naming type thing. This is a mechanic we haven't seen in quite a while. Draw a card for every card named something. That was the good one. And then there was like a burn one that I think was decent as well. This seems like it could be okay, but not in like the decks that really care about stuff like this, like Infect. Loyal Pegasus, sure. Oh yeah, we've seen this guy before. Kalia Zenith Seeker. So this is another card that's had some ones before, right? The Gross Elemental wasn't. Yeah, Kalia the Vast. Was this just in Commander, though? Was this ever actually in a standard legal product? Anyways, it looks like she does something similar. Look at the top 6 cards. Reveal an angel, demon, or dragon. Put it into your hand. Okay, so she just kind of tutors stuff out. She's a 3/3 flying vigilance for 3. That's pretty nice. It looks like this is just going to be a Commander Classic. Is Scryfall like down? What's going on here? Oh, here we go. Yeah, it was only in Commander type projects. So it's kind of cool that she's being like elevated. But this is a much crazier ability. I guess in concert, these two actually work really nicely together. And this tutors up the big guys and this puts them in swing. But this is really the territory of Commander. Like, I wouldn't even draft this in Limited. Like, what are the odds you're going to get this and good things to hit? We've seen one Angel so far. That's it. Golos Tireless Pilgrim. Search your library for a land card, put the card into the battlefield. That's kind of cool, because it's sort of like, oh, you know, Robot Man. Sad Robot. Oh, why can't I think of what that card is called? It's a classic. At any rate, exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn without playing their mana cost. Oh, isn't that fun? It's expensive as hell. I don't think anyone is ever going to do this in a game where people are really trying to win, but yeah, I think this would be a very fun card to build around as a commander or something. It ramps you a little bit. It doesn't even come into battlefield. Oh, it does come into battlefield tapped. Well, whatever. It's not basic, though. That's nice. And this is pretty crazy. This is like a very exciting ability. So, yeah, I'm into it. Flood of Tears. Woo! 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 Okay, alright, that's a lot of fun. So it's sort of like Upheaval. Except the big downside is that Upheaval hits lands. This not hitting lands is really makes it much less asymmetrical in potential, because the idea is you float all of your additional mana, then you Upheaval, and then you play something big. But this kind of has the same effect in that you end up playing something big. You could actually play something much huger than you had the capability to before, like Emrakul or whatever. But then the fact that they still have access to their mana right away means that the swing back comes a lot faster. This flavor here is really beautiful. I think this card has potential at the casual fun level, but I don't know. I guess Upheaval isn't modern legal, is it? Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe there's still something to do with this. Wand? Alright. Cool. Starfield Mystic. Ooh, okay. Okay. Alright. This is kind of cool. Then again, it's in Theros, which is sort of our enchantment type place. I like it. I could see this being pretty strong. I could see this really starting to get crazy. This I don't think is as relevant. It's more just maybe getting multiple of these down and really getting some cheap creatures out. Maybe some gods, you know, your enchantment creatures. I think there's potential here. Rule of Law, alright. This is a card that's been printed before. Sure. We kill each other only with the utmost fairness. Bishop of Wings. Whenever an angel enters the battlefield and control, gain 4 life. Control dies, create a speecher. Okay, alright. Speecher. I combined the words spirit and creature and said speecher. But yeah, this is neat for angel tribal. But again, angel tribal less about angels synergizing with each other, rather things synergizing with angels. So it's kind of neat. The name is nice, the art is nice. I'm fine with it. Ember Hauler, nice. Okay, this is an existing card. This is actually pretty funny flavor text, I think. No job in the Goblin Army is glamorous. This is alright. In limited, I think this starts saving you in jams, especially the fact you can sack lands. Goblin Bird Grabber. Nice. Fun. Gross. That's a goblin. Reckless Airstrike. So we've got a lot of goblins, but not very much goblin synergy between them. It's more the fact that they are goblins, that they can synergize potentially with other stuff. Like, this isn't actually anything to do with goblins, but it has goblin stuff in it. I like that there's like 2 scenes from this event that you can depict by choosing one. Either when it hits the bird on the way down or when it crashes and explodes. Sure. Blight Beetle. Oh, pro green. Okay. So, I'm very surprised to see this. I was shocked to see the red ones, and then I started thinking, oh, maybe they're putting this in Red's color pie. But I guess it's in black too? Alright. This is actually pretty cool. This is some strong hosing for Hardened Scales and stuff. I think they're about 3 sets late for Hardened Scales to actually be a legit deck. But between these 2 abilities, it's actually pretty alright. Yeah, I don't know. If we need to hose Hardened Scales, I guess this is your bug. Hydra. X+1/+1 counters. Double the number of counters on it, or have it fight something. Now that's pretty cool. So it can get pretty dang big pretty fast. Or you can have it be some targeted removal. I like it. Very strong limited pick. Uncaged Fury, sure. Veil of Summer. Oh, look at this hosing! Look at this specific color hosing. I'm so shocked they're bringing it back. I thought they were kind of done with this sort of stuff. Like, this is a dead card in so many matchups. But it's kind of neat. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Kind of reminds me of Seed Time, you know? Like a surprise. Tried to counter something. Well, I'm playing this. Can't be countered. Whereas Seed Time is even crazier, though. Just, surprise, you countered something, I'm taking your turn. Planar Cleansing, alright. Sure. This is kind of a core set classic now. Loxodon Life Chanter. Ooh, that's very cool. That is very cool. I've never seen something like that before. This is also very exciting. I like that it's a May ability. Nicely, this works with all of the big trees. If you just have a bunch of trees of redemption or whatever, you can get your life total very high. And then make this Elephant Man very big. And then he gets chump blocked. You're like, oh, okay. Alright, so they're reprinting some of the ley lines, because we had Anticipation and now Void. But then I guess other ley lines are new. But this is a really good reprint, because holy crap, this card is $50. So that's nice. This is like a sideboard classic, probably from now until graveyard decks get bad. And graveyard decks will never ever get bad. Even if people were playing 4 Leyline of the Void main deck and every deck period was just running 4 not Leyline of the Void. Great. People would still play graveyard decks. It would still be I don't know. I don't know what point I'm making here. Like, if that ever happens, that means the graveyard decks are strong enough that people wanted to do that, which means that people will keep doing that, which means that the price is always going to be high. There's always going to be demand. Anyways, okay, a new gorilla. I like it. Yep. A new goblin. Here we go. So it's an old goblin, but here we go. First time modern legal. There's other goblins that do this sort of thing, though, that are much better, like Matron, and of course, the one that just brings out all the goblins and puts them on the top. Leyline of Combustion. Okay, whenever you or at least one permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability and opponent controls. Ooh, okay. So, in the same way that Burn sort of wants Eidolon and stuff, maybe it also wants this as just sort of a burn down protection kind of. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of neat. All of these arts are really cool too, with like the things making the X, the intersection. Negate, of course. Classic. Thrashing Brontodon. Becoming a classic. Sure. Disfigure. All right. Flame Sweep. Okay. Except for creatures you control with flying, so even their flying creatures get burned. Yeah, this actually seems decent. Corpse Knight. Alright. Yeah, okay. Risen Reef. Another elemental travel card. Oh, excuse me. That's kind of fun. This has a lot of nice synergy with the new Opna. It's getting lands aplenty. Or I guess with the old Omnath. I don't remember if it works with the new Omnath. What? The short. Alright, that's fun. Getting near the end here, I think. Whoa, Dragon Mage! Dude, I love Dragon Mage. I was like so hyped with this card when it came out in Scourge. Scourge. I guess it's not actually that great. It got downshifted to uncommon. But yeah, it's a Wheelin' Dragon. The crazy Wheelin' Dragon. We're smart. No, it's smart. I love the flavor text as a kid. I thought was so cool. Dragon Mage is back. It's not a big deal. Oh well. Aether Gust. Oh, look at this color fuzzing. It's crazy. Okay. Sure. Infuriate. Yeah, okay. It's not quite Giant Growth. But they're getting dang close. Leyline of Sanctity, another classic sideboard leyline that's gone way up in price. With cool art. With a great reprint. Sure, sure. Kaikar Wind's Fury. Bird Wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a flying token. Ooh, now that is a lot of fun. This could actually just become a very crazy engine. This is a new creature, right? Or a new person? We haven't seen. Yeah. Yeah. This actually, with certain rituals and stuff, this starts getting pretty bonkers. Burn spells just pay for themselves in a lot of cases. Yeah, I don't know. I think in the right sort of deck with like monetary Swift Spears and lots of looting through your deck, and this thing gets quite interesting. Yeah, alright, I'm into it. I'm quite curious to see if this leads to something. It looks like you can make a sweet commander deck. Octoprophet? Are you kidding me? Yo, look at this thing. This is awesome. The flavor is so cool that it can detect things coming from the tide. I'm just more super hyped though that there's something called Octoprophet. Thought Distortion, gross. Oh, okay. Okay, alright. That's a pretty big hosing. But it's quite expensive. Disenchant, of course. Empyrean Eagle. Yeah, okay. Flying Tribal. That's pretty nice. In Limited, this is a card that you can win the game quite easily with, I think. Sure. Yeah, okay. I like that it always has 5 toughness. It's hard to get rid of even if they deplete your board. Unsummon, sure, of course. Ooh, new Ajani, alright. Gain life equal to the number of creatures you control plus the number of planeswalkers you control. Alright, alright. Get a Pride Mate that just functions like the normal Pride Mate, which is quite nice. 15 life, more than your starting total. Exile him and each artifact creature your opponents control. Ooh, okay. So like a big one-sided board wipe that you can only get once you gain enough life. So really, this is gaining you progress towards the ultimate. Like, this is actually getting you much more loyalty than it looks like. You get a lot of life gain synergy, which is cool here. These abilities just bounce back and forth and create a ton of value, and then eventually you just explode everything, and you got your nice little cat army. Yeah, this thing is like a one-card winning machine. Like, you don't need anything else to make this work, and yet there's so many other things that just synergize naturally with it. I have a hard time imagining that this is bad, like this is outright bad. I think the problem is in a lot of matchups, this doesn't really do that much, you know? That they're just like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to combo off now anyways. Good luck. But against fair decks, I think this seems crazy strong. So I don't know, maybe in the sideboard of some kind of grindy white decks. Ooh, big Sphinx. You could just Sphinx. Draw 2 cards and discard a card. Whenever it deals damage to your opponent, if you reveal your hand. Oh, whoa! Okay, very cool. Look at this flavor. Look at how it's reflected in the art. If you have the 6 different eyes, you just like lock them out of the game. Yeah, I'm very, very excited to see people try to win with this. I'm not that optimistic that they can. It's just so expensive and it takes so long. And generally, you don't want to just have a ton of cards in your hand. I guess in some sort of control deck, you just kind of start working on this as an alternate win con, as a way to kind of close out the game. But it just seems so unnecessary. Very, very exciting card. Really cool design, but I don't know. Chandra's Spitfire. Oh yeah, this is an older card. Now it's time to burn the clouds. Sure. Devote Decree. Look at this. Look at this color hosing. Okay. Yarunk's Falunker. Or whatever the hell this says. Okay. Okay, so this is like a whole little thing that we're going to learn from here and there. Sure. Cavalier of Flame. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn. Discard any number of cards and then draw that many cards. Whenever it dies, it deals X damage to each opponent and each planeswalker they control, or X number of land cards in your graveyard. Ooh. So lots of little things going on here. None of them super directly synergizing, except that this, you know, if you've got a hands full of lands, you've curved out, you've hit your 5-drop. Now you just want to dump all your remaining lands. This does a big swing later. This you can cast repeatedly. Things get pretty big. You go wide, dealing 6. I don't know, it's like pushed in every direction. The mana cost is so prohibitive. But I guess if you're playing mono red, not really. Yeah, it's interesting. It's quite interesting. I could maybe see some sort of big red deck that plays this. It's so curved. I mean, so pushed. And as top of the curve, it does a lot of things that you want your top of the curve doing. Being like a mana sink, refueling you, although likely with this sort of deck your hand is nearly empty anyways, and then making a big impact even if they just Doomblade it right away. Yeah, okay. I think there's potential. I'm not entirely sold. Chandra's Embercat. Oh, how cute. So this must be from the Planeswalker deck. Or no, actually no. Interesting. Oh, because I guess it gets elemental things too. Yeah, okay, alright. Very, very cute. Furballs, regular fireballs. Ha ha ha. Chandra's Regulator. Alright, cool. Okay, this is cool. I really especially like that you can discard mountains. That makes it so much better. You start kind of churning through your deck. You're trying to find your Chandras. Okay, okay. Ooh, here's a big angel. Other multicolored creatures you control get +1/+0. Yeah, okay, alright. This seems okay. I don't think it's really going to get you all the way there, though. There's nothing here that's like a super drastic effect. Like this is nice, but it's so slow. And you're just kind of doing things you've already done on your turns. This is okay, but it's not really that dramatic. Because usually with multicolor heavy decks, you're not going that wide. And then the stats are like alright, but not super pushed. I'm surprised this isn't more pushed, honestly. Like, it just seems okay. Cryptic Caves. Yeah, alright. This is okay. Not really, though. Especially since we were just given the Horizon lands in Modern Horizons. It's like, oh man, really? I have to have 5 lands? Only produces colorless? For real? Dread Presence. Whenever a swamp enters the battlefield, choose 1, draw a card and lose 1 life. Deals 2 damage to any target. Ooh, well that's quite nice. You gain 2 life. This is something that black has a hard time doing. Usually I think you're probably just wanting to do this, though. Unless there's something specific you want to get rid of. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. In limited, this seems really strong. Creeping Trailblazer, some more elemental things. Yeah, okay. I like this sort of give and take that a lot of these elementals have, that they have something that boosts other elementals and then something that boosts them based on the elementals you have. I think that's really neat. Here's another one. Okay, that's cool. This kind of gets your elemental things going. It's a lot of green mana symbols, which kind of sucks because elementals are really spread out among the colors. So if you're trying to draft an elemental deck and you're also trying to play this, probably not so good. But yeah, that's kind of neat. The fact that it permanently makes them elementals is cool. Forest Walks is too late to run. Scheming Symmetry. Whoa, now that is quite exciting. And the art is super cool too. Man, Seb McKinnon. I swear, this guy coming through 100% of the time with these amazing creepy cards and artworks. This is so interesting. Like, in multiplayer formats, like in Commander and stuff, it becomes a super political card. You're doing somebody such a huge favor. And then in one-on-one, like, the matchups where this is amazing and the matchups where this is terrible are, like, so skewed. Like, it's such a polarizing card. So I guess it's kind of sideboard type territory, that if you're playing against more fair decks, more kind of grindy, go wide type decks, this can be super devastating for them. Because it's like, oh, I got the best creature I could play on this turn, and you got the card that lets you win the game. Man, super interested in this card. Such an elegant design. So simple, and yet I don't even begin to fathom the potential it has. Really interested to see where this ends up. I hope they put this in like Vintage Cube or something too. I guess in Vintage Cube it's so much worse than the tutors you already have access to. But in some cube format, I think this would be really neat. Angel of Vitality. Gain that life, you gain that much life +1 instead. Ooh, alright, that's fun. Hey. Okay, so they remembered with a new Ajani to say some amount of life over your total life. With this, they forgot. They made this mistake again. So you play this in Commander, and it's just a 4/4 flyer for 3, which I guess isn't anywhere near the most broken thing you're doing with 3 mana. But I'm surprised. I'm surprised they went back to this wording. This art is really nice. I'm so surprised, though, that it has this wording. Okay, new Chandra. Ooh, only a rare. With only, well, 3 abilities, though. That's, Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Alright. The art is really fun. But just a rare Planeswalker. So I guess that's like open season now. We can just do that now whenever we want after War of the Spark. In War of the Spark, it always had static ability and then 2 abilities if it was rare. Here we're just getting 3 abilities, but this one is kind of, I don't know, it's not like super complex or anything, I guess. This is quite nice though, like this is actually such value. Because so often when you're Snapcaster and you're doing something for that cheap anyways, and this can do it twice for 3 mana. Yeah, I don't know. This seems pretty alright. And then if you don't have targets, you're just doing this. Or bumping up your loyalty. I wanna see like Burn try this out. It's quite slow, I guess, but in kind of your slower, grindier Burn decks, which sounds like an oxymoron, but they might exist. Oh, okay, another Chandra. This one, uncommon, although 3 abilities still. Whereas, of course, the War of the Spark uncommon Planeswalkers only had 1. Okay, an elemental city. This is kind of nice. Yeah, I don't know. This seems pretty decent. It's gonna gain you some life at the very least because they're trying to kill it. In the elemental deck, it can really reward you. But even this and this are just such great utility abilities. Utilities. Yeah, I don't know, man. This seems pretty strong. So I guess it's like showing Chandra at 3 stages through her life. This is her limiter or whatever that we saw before. Okay. Chandra Awakened Inferno. So this is the mythic one. Spell can't be countered. That's pretty cool. Okay, alright. That's pretty nuts that you can just keep spamming these. 3 damage to each non-elemental creature. X damage to target creature permanent. Okay, alright. Alright. That's pretty sweet. That's a big, big Chandra. Spell can't be countered. Never seen that on a Planeswalker before. This is actually pretty good. This kills them quite quickly. You just get more and more and more. And the fact that it's each opponent, too, in multiplayer. I kind of see these big Planeswalkers. Usually you're thinking more Commander, maybe. But yeah. Okay, I think that's it. I think we're caught up now. So we got through a solid 109 cards. Let's go back to the start and see if there's anything new spoiled. No. Okay, we're good. We're good for today, at least. I don't know when I'll get a chance to make more of these videos. Probably not until next week. So it'll probably be another marathon, an hour or so of looking at cards. So I hope you enjoy it. I certainly enjoy making these. I wish I could make them a little more exciting in terms of laying it all on the line, but I haven't really come up with a good way to do that yet. But yeah, this looks like it's quite a good set. I wasn't super pumped for it, but there's been quite a few cards that really excited me. Mostly that like double tutor thing. That just blows my mind. They actually made a card like that. And the new Leyline seemed pretty cool. I'm curious about that. My boy Dragon Mage is back. It was one of an early rare I got that I was super excited about. Nah, it's just $1.60. Yeah. Yeah, alright. Okay. Bye-bye.